Have you ever stopped to think about the sun? I mean, really think about it? Let's try a little thought experiment. What if our most vital source of life just blinked out? Not forever, just for one single 24-hour day. Let's dive in. So picture it. You're going about your day, maybe you're outside, feeling the sun on your face, and then, in an instant, no warning, no fade, it's just gone. Pure darkness. So what happens next? What happens to our planet and to us in those 24 hours? All right, let's start the clock. We're at second zero, the exact moment someone or something flips the light switch on our solar system. 1 second, there's daylight. The next, nothing. Just an absolute shocking darkness that we as a species have never, ever experienced. This isn't just night. This is something else entirely. Think about that for a second. Half the world is always in darkness, sure, but now it's the whole shebang, a complete global night. You'd see cities flicker on, right? Streetlights, buildings, but that little bit of artificial light wouldn't do much to calm the nerves. In fact, it might just make the darkness feel even bigger. And everybody would know instantly, this is no eclipse. An eclipse is predictable, it's temporary. This is wrong. Can you imagine that dawning realization hitting billions of people all at once? The confusion would turn to panic so fast, it would be its own global shockwave. So as that initial shockwave of fear is still spreading, the physical consequences would start to cascade, and that's when things would get really serious. Now, the good news is Earth holds on to heat pretty well, so you wouldn't freeze solid right away, but you'd feel it. After just 1 hour, there'd be a serious chill in the air. By hour 8, the global average temperature would be dropping towards freezing, and you can bet our power grids would be groaning under the strain of everyone cranking up the heat. And by the end of the full 24 hours, even our massive oceans would start to cool down, which is a huge deal for our weather. And this is where you really see how fragile our modern world is. I mean, solar power? Gone in a flash, obviously. That puts a crazy amount of strain on all our other energy sources. Planes would be grounded almost immediately. It's just too dangerous. And you know what people would be doing? Making a mad dash for supplies, food, water, batteries, anything they can get their hands on, all while asking the same terrifying question: is the sun ever coming back? And it's not just our human systems that would fail. The very engine of life on this planet, photosynthesis, would just stop all at once. Now, for just 24 hours, most plants would probably be okay, but it would be a massive shock to the system, a jarring reminder that almost every living thing here is plugged into that giant star. You know, the physical effects are pretty wild to think about, but the biggest, most immediate impact probably wouldn't be the cold. It would be what's happening inside our own heads. And this quote right here, it nails it. The real problem isn't just the dark, it's the why. It's the unknown. We're hardwired to function in daylight. To have it snatched away with no explanation, well, that taps into a deep primal fear. That terror of not knowing what's going on would spread like a virus. Now, that primal fear probably has you expecting the absolute worst, right? That without the sun, we'd instantly become a frozen, lifeless ball of ice. But here's the surprising reality. In just 24 hours, it wouldn't happen. Yeah, it would get seriously, dangerously cold. But thanks to the heat trapped in our atmosphere and the heat coming from the Earth's core, we wouldn't freeze solid. It would be survivable. Just. But here's the terrifying catch. 24 hours is the magic number. Because if this went on for days, for weeks, well, that's a whole different story. That's when the surface of the planet would truly freeze over. That's when the chain of life would start to shatter. That's when you're talking about a real extinction-level event. But in our scenario, the clock is ticking. And after 24 hours of cold, of fear, and of absolute darkness, something amazing happens. It's back, just as suddenly as it vanished. Can you even imagine that moment? The collective sigh of relief from every person on Earth, the warmth slowly starting to creep back into the world. Temperatures would level out. Life would go on. But let's be real, things wouldn't just snap back to the way they were. You don't spend a full day staring into the abyss and come out unchanged. We'd have a brand new, maybe even fearful, appreciation for that star we see every single day. And that's really the big takeaway here, isn't it? The sun isn't just some big light bulb in the sky that keeps us warm. It's the engine. It's the power source for pretty much everything that happens on this planet. It doesn't just give us light, it literally gives us life. So what do you think? If you enjoyed this trip into the impossible, do us a favor and like this explainer. And I really want to know, how would you react in those 24 hours? Drop a comment and let us know. And of course, make sure you subscribe for more scenarios that make you think. Thanks for watching.